Nefise, Breathless. In Berlin, her father Ayaz Kiran lives a quiet life. Ruya finds out that her mother, whom she has never seen one day, is in Syria. The only way to enter the occupied congregation for Ruya, which learns that her mother is alive, is to make a fake marriage with Boran. Guilt of Humanity. In this series, there's a girl named Suna, a pupil of wealthy parents, and an ordinary hardworking guy, a native of the village. Young people accidentally intersect during a walk and almost immediately fall in love with each other. The girl reciprocates despite the financial insolvency of Jamal. The couple begins to meet, but they do it secretly, as society doesn't accept such relationships. It all started with night walks, and it would seem a bright future awaits Sun and Jamal. But at one point, the girl learns about the past of her lover. As it turned out, only Jamal's parents are in poverty, but his closest relatives are far from ordinary people. The guy himself didn't understand that he always had the opportunity to get out of poverty. Just before his death, his father informs him of a rich uncle from the capital, who is ready to give his niece part of the acquired. Over time, another girl appears in Jamal's life who is trying to recapture her fiancés from Suna. A kind of love triangle forms, forcing the heroes to survive difficult situations. Kara Para Us, Black Money Love. Omar is a police officer. After the death of his fiancée, he suffers great pain. Sybil, Omar's fiancée's body, was found on the top of a cliff in a car next to a fairly old, rich businessman. After the shock of her sudden death and the accusations of his love cheating on him, Omar realizes that there is more behind a suspicious murder. He decides that he will do anything in order to find his fiancée's murderer and to prove to everyone that she was not cheating on him. On the other side, Elif, the middle child of three girls of Ahmed and Zarin, loses her father to a murder where his body was found in the same car as Omar's fiancée. While still grieving after her father's death, Elif is threatened by dangerous men in order to find millions of dollars worth of diamonds that her father had stolen in order to pay all of his debts that his family were unaware of. After Elif finds out that her father was involved in the black money market industry, she gets involved with the father's dirty works and pairs with Omar, both of them desperate to find out who is in charge of the murders of both of their loved ones. Little do they know that the leader of the industry is a man who Elif sees as her uncle, a man who knows all of their secrets and a man who is always one step ahead of Elif and Omar. Karpisma, Crash. Kadir is the chief commissioner of the organized crime branch of the Istanbul police department. The moment he loses his wife and daughter in a terrorist attack, his happy family life is destroyed. Feeling very sorry for what had happened and suffering from this loss, he decided to end his life. Without realizing it, he causes a catastrophe that changes the lives of four people. Four cars, four people, four lives, four destinies collide. In one of the cars is his childhood friend Zainab, with whom he grew up in an orphanage and is even about to get married, but he refuses to do so because of his strong desire to work in the police, because his father was a police officer who at the time duty was killed. Instead, Kadir marries another friend from the orphanage, Asli. Zainab marries Galip and starts working as a bank manager and gives birth to a daughter named Aylin. But Galip owes a mob that kidnaps her daughter Aylin after Galip escapes from Turkey and asks Zainab to pay her husband's debts. Slowly, and for this reason, she robs the bank where she works. After her arrest, she asks Kadir for help to save her daughter. In another car is Zainab's lawyer, Cemre, the daughter of Veli's lawyer, Selim, who is engaged to Demir. One of them, Kerem, a powerful friend in fourth car, stabbed him. The Kerem partner Jacob uses his recording to blacken Demir and Belma. Yalniz's Kurd, the lonely wolf. Altai earns his living by fighting cages under the name Kurdoglu. Isra asks Altai for help to escape and reunite with her little girl one night when the guns explode in the place. Hearing that the child's life is in danger, Altai accepts without hesitation. Dogan, the owner of the illegal fight club and Isra's lover, comes after them. As soon as Altai takes a step to help Isra, he embarks on a new journey that extends to his own past. The old man Dawood Bahadur, who lives alone in a hut in the forest, will guide Altai on his journey from the legends to the Turkey of the 1950s and from there to present day. Yusi Kurus, the bed penny. A serial killer is stalking Singirakli, a tight-knit Roman neighborhood with little regard for outsiders. He leaves 3 pennies on each of his victim's body, and the case is assigned to the organized crime unit. Its captain F.A. initially suspects Kartal, a Romani mafia leader who is the neighborhood protector and F.A.'s target. However, as Efe realizes that Kartal is not the killer, the cop and the mafia leader from an uneasy alliance to find Singirakli's three-penny serial killer. Efe has always looked at Kartal's neighborhood as a breeding ground for criminals and lowlifes, but this case helps him see through the Romani perspective. The unexpected connection between the three-penny serial killer and Kartal's tragic past will call into question everything he believes. Mehkum, the prisoner. Firat Bulut is a public prosecutor at the Istanbul courthouse. Firat, a successful prosecutor, lives a happy life with his wife Zeynep and 5-year-old daughter Nazli. However, when he wakes up one day, he finds himself in prison without remembering what happened in the last 4 months. His most recent memory is the night he celebrated his daughter's birthday. Shocked and horrified, he realizes that he has been accused of murdering his wife and daughter. His second trial is approaching and he has been sentenced to life imprisonment. The last case that the public prosecutor Firat Bulut investigated before he was imprisoned is the case of Baris Yesari, one of the twin brothers who are the successors of the Yesaris, one of the country's foremost families. He killed a young girl in Baris Yesari's house. Unable to diagnose whether his memory has been lost temporarily or forever, Firat Bulut has to remember, survive and escape from prison in order to prove his innocence. Yargi, the judgment. Lawyer Selin and prosecutor Ilgaz, in their fight to ensure justice, they have the same passion. However, while struggling on this path, two legal people whose methods are at opposite poles, the more rule-bound, honest and strict Ilgaz is, Selin is just as borderless, unregulated and rebellious. That's why every time their paths crossed, they clashed, tested each other and stayed on opposite sides until life crossed their path again. Ilgaz, brought to him as murder case, he is caught unprepared for the shocking blow inflicted on his family by the corpse of a woman found in a garbage container. His brother Sinar is seen as the main suspect in this case. Ilgaz needs a good lawyer to save his brother, so he comes to the brink of a tough decision. All the features of Selin that he never approves are like the key to the iron bars that will be closed on his brother. Selin and Ilgaz at this turning point, which they never expected to meet, while questioning the truth that they thought indispensable until today. They will also find themselves floundering in a sea of secrets that they do not know how to swim.